Hey guys, and welcome to another gameplay, and today we're featuring something that I'm really excited about. This is my, second ever ace in the Object 907, which is a tier 10 Russian medium tank that you can only get from competing in Clan Wars. Now, I got this tank a couple seasons ago, the last time they offered it for the first time. And this game, like I said, is my second ever ace, and this is the game I earned my first mark of excellence in this tank, which is pretty hard. This is a very good tank, and only pretty much good players have it. So I'm just pretty proud of that. So here up in Overlord, this is one of my favorite spots to go to at the beginning of a game. I like to take this bush on this side, and the one I'm aiming at on the opposite side. But that guy rolled through, so I get a relatively free shot, and I can sit in this bush a little while. I know that I will be dark as soon as this 430 goes dark if he doesn't re-proxy spot me. I'm getting a little bit of spotting here, and so because of this, how this 430 pushed up, I'm going to try to flex into the middle to be able to take him down. Now, one of the things in this game is going to be a pretty epic carry, and I'm going to run out of standard shells. But enough spoilers, and let's just talk through things as they go. So I'm trying to move over here to put some pressure on this 430, and I'm chickening out a little bit because I know there are tanks on that ridge. We hit that standard B through that beehive box or whatever that thing is there. I'm backing off here because if an enemy tank pokes this ridge line, they will be able to hit me in the side. So I'm just thinking about going back, but I see that no one is really coming up after me, and that whole area around F6 is empty. So eventually I'm going to make my way back over there to try to pressure the 430 out of that position. The other side has a much better, kind of bush perch. And here I was thinking about poking that guy, but of course I get spotted because the bushes here are not very dense and the area isn't flat. So the area where the enemy Girl 15 is where I would sit on the other side at the beginning. And it's much flatter, has a much better hiding spot. But again, I'm coming up here to this house to use this position to get a good crossfire. One shot into the 430. He's fired. The girl is behind the rock, so it can't really come after me. And again, I'm falling back in case an enemy tank rolls around to counter me. But they're not doing that, so I'm pretty much going to have free reign over the middle. The 430 is trying to escape. We put a shot into him here, right into the side of the turret. And a second shot in the side of the turret is our first kill. Now, as you can see, I am running food. I'm also running full purple equipment on this tank. So be aware of that. My reload with all that is just under 5 seconds. Of course, I have a Brothers in Arms crew. I'm using my crew from the Object 430U in this tank, which is a 4-skill crew currently. Now, I know that there's this 260 up here on the ridge, but at the same time, there could be tank destroyers in the back. Poke up, take a shot right into the tracks. I reload a heat round here to go to hopefully help me go through the 260. We aim at the inside of his upper plate there and hit. I switch back to standard here. So as you can see, the enemy is pushing the beach, and so I decided that I'm going to move to D6 area, because that way I can get a crossfire on any tanks that cross this big long ramp on the sea line. The enemy also has a lot of tanks on the lower ground in the heavy area who may come and pressure our moisture. I see this IS-7 pushing in the open here, and we're going to take advantage of that. There is kill number 2, right into the track of the IS-7, and I'm still watching this crossing here for the M46 Patton and the T95 and the FV215B183, and there's the T95. I believe his sixth sense went off, and he immediately backed up because he didn't want to get shot. But he crosses anyway. We put the first shot in, but the gap is small enough that we can only get in one shot before we reload, even though the T95 is not a fast tank. The Patton is crossing, but he's crossing at a weird angle, so I'm able to put, and going backwards, so I'm barely able to sneak a second shell into him. At this point, we're at just over 3,500 combined. The game is looking pretty even, about 5 minutes in. That said, we have lost all of our tier 10 heavies, and the enemy tier 10 heavies are still alive. see this object 430U here on the ridge, and I realize that he's in a very flankable position, so I'm going to drive around behind him and try to put a shot or two in. That said, the team is beginning to die, and we're starting to run low on numbers, now down 4 tanks. My first shot aimed a little hastily there does miss. One of the things about this tank is that while it has really good DPM and somewhat usable armor, it does not have the gun handling of a tank like the Object 140. So a shot into the side of the Moistion turret there saves our own Moistion, and we have a Leopard and a 705A pushing on him. And by some miracle, I bounce off the Leopard. I'm thinking about going after him, but the 705A pushes in towards the Moistion. So I begin to shoot him in the side. He decides to shoot me instead of the Moistion here with an HE round. And we're bouncing shots from the Patton in the base. The Leopard is pushing on us here. I take the shot and finish off the 705A. Now we're going to push out this Leopard. That shot magically misses, which happens sometimes. The Leopard fluffs his shot here, and we're going to finish him off. Now, at this point, we are up 1 tank, but the enemy has pretty advantageous positions, and I am now down to a 1-shot. I see this FV here. I bounce a shot off him, and I see that he's fired and stunned. So I'm going to keep putting rounds in. Now down to my last AP round. I'm using this rock to cover myself from the T95 and the Patton. The FV is now a 1-shot, and I'm going to go for a shot on his cupola here. As you can see, it takes a while to aim, and that one misses. I realize that if I back up too much, a tank like the T95 could shoot me. The FV misses his shot, and I managed to kill him with a heat shot right through the top of the turret. It's now just the T95 and the enemy Patton left. I'm up to 7,500 combined. But that said, our team is relatively out of position, and we're not doing so hot here. So I'm just thinking I'm going to hold around this rock, and we'll see what shots I can get. I see the T95 there, and at this point, our 263 is going to start telling me to run. I believe that shot was on target, but hit a fence. As was that shot was definitely not on target, however. The T95 is pushing on my right side, so I'm going to just drive around behind him. Fortunately for me here, the Patton was not coming after me, and I'm beginning to shred this T95. Even though I'm firing full heat, we can still shoot through the track here, and I decided I don't want to get pinched, so we're going to retrack the T95 and finish him off with a couple more shots through the side. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you take down a full health tank destroyer. Now at this point, the enemy M46 Patton is the only vehicle left. We're just over 8,000 dealt, 9 shells left in the tank. I believe the enemy Patton will be going to reset the base, and there he is atop the ridge. We snap a shot into the back of his turret. There's only 20 seconds left on the game, however. So the Patton appears to be diving down toward the lower ground, especially after you see him make that turn here. So I'm going to drive down to the lower ground to meet him, but alas, our Emil is going to cap out. And that is the game. 7 kills, 8.3 thousand dealt, 1,000 assistance. As you see in the post-game stats here, we have a high caliber, a top gun, an ace tanker, and my first mark of excellence. Just over 1,400 base experience here, which is pretty darn good. And I made a profit of 51,000 credits. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.